Hello, this is Dr. J, back with some more Let's Play Tiberian Sun. Now that we're finally finished fighting over the crashed alien spacecraft, it's time to see what our friendly neighborhood terrorists are up to next.
The ship is immobilized, sir. Vega's men are ready to blow down the sinkhole.
And the Tacitus?
There's no sign of the object which you described, sir.
The Tacitus is the source, Slavic. Its Tiberian secrets can make or break empires. Find it.
Locate that Tacitus soldier, or I will bury your team in that hole.
Yes, sir. Hang on, sir. There's movement here.
Cabal, replay.
Detail. Frame forward. Cycle.
Freeze. Extrapolate for missing data. Mutants.
Cabal. How do we find her?
Probability suggests she will return to the GDI medical colony near Provo, or enter the Underground Railroad here, near New Detroit. The decision is yours, Commander Slavic.
You know, obviously you've got the big name actors who Westwood managed to get for this, James Earl Jones, Michael Biehn, but the acting in general in this game is actually quite good. Like, the guy who plays Slavic, for example, I think does a really good job of conveying sort of unhinged, just barely contained psychopathy. But anyway, seems like we are now in pursuit of a mutant, one of the Forgotten. This is going to be one of the rare instances where we have a choice of two missions, and it's not that one of them is an optional submission. It is actually the case that it's like the original Tiberian Dawn or like Red Alert, where it's just two separate missions for the same objective, and whichever one you pick, you ordinarily never play the other one and you just go on to the next one. For the sake of completeness, I'm going to show both of these though. So let's go ahead and see what both of them are all about.
You must reach the medical colony in the region without being prematurely detected by GDI and forcing a base evacuation. To prevent this, consider first destroying the 3 sensor towers protecting the base. Our new artillery unit should be sufficient for the job, even in your hands. Once inside the base, the capture of the mutant female should be simple.
Cabal is really quite insulting, isn't he? I'm not going to overlook this insubordination, Cabal.
The mutant female may be trying to reach the underground railway system located in New Detroit. Move in and control the station before she arrives. If she boards the train, you must stop it immediately. This may be our last chance of capturing the abomination.
I love how Cabal is like mutant female, as though female is more bizarre than the fact that she's a mutant. That just cracks me up for some reason. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and go with the Southern Mission option first. Alright, so find and capture a train station before Umagan arrives. I seem to recall
New construction options.
this is another pretty tricky mission. And this is the kind of mission that punishes you for scouting,
Construction complete.
because if you
New construction.
attract GDI's attention, then you will come under attack right away. Whereas if you just kind of stay in your own corner of the map, then you're actually left alone to just build up a force. I think that's the case, if my memory is correct. And that being the case, I'm not going to cross this bridge. I'm not going to scout too far abroad. By the way, we now have an artillery unit. So when I was discussing how Nod has an insanely overpowered unit before, this is what I was referring to. It gets nerfed in the expansion, which is badly needed. In the original game, the artillery, in addition to having insanely long range and high attack power, never misses, even if it's firing at moving targets, which is crazily overpowered, as well as pretty unrealistic.
New construction options.
Basically, if you just build and deploy a handful of artillery, that is all you need for defense. No attack force will ever be able to touch your base if you just have a handful of artillery guarding it. It's kind of ridiculous. But like I said, if my memory is accurate, as long as we don't venture too far abroad, the enemy's just going to leave us alone. So I'm going to up the game speed. I'm going to get a huge economy going. And I'm just going to crank out a gigantic attack force. And we're just going to try to steamroll over everything that we encounter.
Construction complete.
And then capture the train station once we find it, to prevent Umagan's escape.
Complete. Building.
Oh, jeez.
Insufficient funds.
That's so hard to read. Somebody's Tiberium warehouse, I think is what that says. But, as I've said, everything is so tiny on my screen, it's kind of hard to see.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Alright, now I'm going to work on another Tiberium refinery. You know, it's almost tempting to go up to clown speed for this part, because I don't think we're going to come under attack. I think there's an island in the very northeast corner of the map, which is only accessible if you capture or build an amphibious APC, which has like a money crate on it. And just a little secret, kind of like we saw in that one level where that had an island only reachable if you captured an amphibious APC, which had a bunch of mammoth tanks on it. But I think this is only a money crate, so it's a lot less exciting. If showing that turns out to be easy to do, then I will, but I'm not going to go out of my way to show such a minor secret. Alright, one more Tiberium refinery. This is inappropriately pumping music for just building up our base. Let's go with... where is it? Okay, heroism, and there's another one, approach. Where'd approach go? There it is. Are two of my favorite themes in the game, though almost every theme in this game is quite good. But these, I think, are really atmospheric and should be quite appropriate. I'm going to see if I can keep up my streak of getting 2 missions per video. So I'm going to try to do both variants of this mission in this video, but that's going to be contingent on me clearing both of them in under an hour.
Construction complete.
I've said before, that's not for any technical reason. YouTube doesn't have any problem with me uploading videos that are longer than an hour. It's just that I think that a good rule of thumb, a good video length, is to shoot from over 20 minutes, preferably more like half an hour, and under 1 hour.
Construction complete. New construction.
That's just my own opinion, but I just think that's a good, fun video length, because under 20 minutes is awfully short. It kind of blows my mind that way back in the day, YouTube videos all had to be 15 minutes. It's kind of crazy. And an hour or longer is kind of a lot for a single video.
Unit ready.
I mean, it's okay to do a super long hour video if it's like a big epic, you know, final mission kind of thing, but... you know what? I'm going to go up to clown speed for building up our force. Alright, and we're going to need an engineer.
Building. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Maybe 2 engineers.
Unit ready.
Nope, our tick tanks ended up on hold for a while.
Unit ready. Timer start.
Oh god, okay, I spent too long. Thanks to clown speed. Okay, we have 9 minutes to get this done. Whoops. Didn't realize that I was triggering some kind of time limit there. Okay, learned a bit of a lesson there. So you don't have infinite time to build up your forces then. I was correct, though, that as long as we don't attract attention, then we'll be left alone. Hopefully, because I built up such a huge force, we can just kind of steamroll everything. Alright, there's a Wolverine. Oh, some mutants, the Forgotten, are coming to fight us. There are mutants and mutant sergeants. I don't think there's any real mechanical difference between them in terms of the gameplay. Alright, I think the train station we have to capture is like southern center, but I'm not positive. And that clock is ticking down real fast, so we do not have infinite time to figure this out. Oh boy, that's a Titan. We may struggle to hit it. No, we hit it just fine. Okay, Orca bombers. Looks like they may be going for my base. I may want SAM sites. I don't think it'll really matter too much if I lose my base, though. Oh, let's get that cheeky Wolverine.
Construction complete. Unit lost.
Okay, the southern train. Luckily, this is a very strong force we have built up.
Unit lost.
Aha! Shoot it! Shoot the train! Curses.
5 minutes remaining.
Go, go, go! Alright, maybe the train station isn't there, then. If she's moving aboard the train, we probably want to follow it. Alright, let's go through this tunnel. Oof. We're running out of time. Get out of my way, Hover MLRS. Oh man, the other side has some pretty heavy defenses. Through the tunnel, everybody. Let's hope we don't just all get killed as soon as we come out, because that would kind of suck. Come on, guys, get out of the tunnel.
Unit lost.
Alright. Go, go, go. So this is a massively, excessively powerful force. It just utterly steamrolls everything. So we could have moved way before this. We didn't need anywhere near this level of forces. And building all this up has triggered this countdown timer. We have 2 minutes left, so this is not looking good. Come on, guys. Get through the... okay, I just don't want to listen to that, so... Oh, mission accomplished, apparently. Okay, what happened? Why did we win? Well, don't do us, I guess? What even happened? Everything about that mission was silly. Going to cloud speed and building up that gigantic force, accidentally triggering the countdown timer. I don't even know why we suddenly won. What even happened? Okay, whatever. I'll just take the win. What the heck? Alright, see you for the other version of this mission, and maybe it'll be a little less ridiculous. Okay, we're back and ready to do the other version of this mission. Okay. I don't know what it means, so we've been provided with a direct satellite uplink.
Reinforcements have arrived.
But I do know that we have 2 artillery. They're crazily overpowered. And also we got additional reinforcements. Alright, so my artillery are just going to start obliterating things that are really far away. Alright, I see a bunch of blue Tiberium, so I think we can set up right here.
New construction options.
Now this mission's fairly different from the other one. The enemy has a bunch of mobile sensor arrays scattered around the map.
Complete.
And if you come into range of them, you get detected and trigger
New
a
construction
very
options.
strict countdown timer as Umagan attempts to flee. Now our crazily overpowered artillery actually have a slightly longer range than
New construction options.
the detection range on those mobile sensor arrays. So we are going to have to rely on the artillery to take out the mobile sensor arrays from outside their detection range. And then we're just going to want to build up an attack force, assault the GDI base, and I think Umagan's going to try to escape in a train, and we need to destroy the train as it's going by, I think is the general pattern for completing this mission. Nice little pond there. Though, I guess as long as we're looking at this pond, one little criticism that I have
Construction complete.
of Tiberian Sun,
New construction.
which, as I've said, I sort of have mixed feelings about how it looks,
Building.
but I have come to appreciate its look overall. But one thing that is just kind of straight up not
Construction.
good is the water is not animated. There is zero animation on this water. It's just a still image. And that just doesn't look good. You know? It's like it's just a still painting. Which would be fine if you were looking at a painting, but we're playing a game. Like, things that move should be animated, like water. And imagine how cool this could look if they had like a nice rippling effect on the water, and maybe you could kind of see some like stone or dirt underneath it through the rippling water. Kind of like in the StarCraft remaster, the water looks absolutely gorgeous. If they had had water that looked kind of like that, imagine how awesome that would have looked. But it doesn't look like that, so I don't know. I guess we can just cry about it. Or just get over it and move on with our lives is probably the more
Construction complete.
constructive thing to do with that. What are you guys doing? Our guys are being clowns. They're just shooting at the bridge and failing to hit this guy. Okay, there we go. Maybe the artillery can get him. What is going on here? Guys, this is an embarrassment. Is he inside the artillery's minimum range? What's going on? Okay, I guess so. And now he's dead. Alright.
Building.
Let's do some scouting. Move to where we can take out the next mobile sensor array. Alright, let's start on a war factory. Okay, let's not get any closer than that. See, even though in both versions of this mission the objective is to capture Umagan, they're really quite different from each other. It's not just exact same mission, but the map is slightly different, like a lot of the Red Alert maps are. This one, legitimately, each one is quite different from the others. Oh boy. Deploy artillery, help us with this
Construction
Titan and this Wolverine and this other Wolverine.
Unit lost.
The really crazy thing about
Unit lost.
artillery is they can actually
New construction options.
shoot at units they can't even see. So if there's stuff in the fog of war, the artillery will just happily bombard it and obliterate it. Which really makes no sense whatsoever. It's very silly. It would have been better balanced and just made more sense if they couldn't attack things that they couldn't see. It's just one of the countless ways that artillery are way overpowered. Well, one of two ways, to be honest. That and the fact that they have perfect accuracy against moving targets. Those are the two things that make them overpowered. So countless was an exaggeration. Okay, is that Alright, you're making me nervous. Is he in range? Yeah, he's in range. Just deploy right there.
Construction complete.
Okay, good. And take him out. Ah, okay, and we have completed another Tiberium refinery. Let's start manufacturing an attack force. We don't need a radar because we already have one. Oh, I guess that's what it meant by direct satellite uplink. Okay, that makes sense. And I don't think we get useful tech if we build the radar, so I'm just not going to bother. 3 refineries will probably be enough. Maybe I'll build a couple lasers for defense. But in addition to destroying the mobile sensor arrays from outside their detection range,
Construction complete.
the other important thing is you don't want to attack the GDI base until you are ready to just wipe it out. Because attacking prematurely can trigger the
Building.
enemy to...
Construction complete.
Or not trigger the enemy, it can trigger the countdown timer for Umagan escaping. And once that countdown triggers, like, you have very, very little time. You have to move really fast.
Unit ready.
By the way, if you're wondering why sometimes I'm just, like, building one thing, and I just go and do other stuff, and then the thing finishes building, and I'm just sitting here like an idiot, it's because I keep thinking I can shift-click to queue up 5 things at a time. Because in more modern games you can do that, but in Tiberian Sun you can't. You actually have to click individually for each thing you want to queue up. Which isn't a huge deal, but I keep forgetting that, and so I shift-click thinking I'm queuing up 5 things, when I'm really only queuing up 1. You know, I'm not going to go all the way up to clown speed. That seems a little dangerous, but I'm going to kick it up a notch. This is another mission where the enemy pretty much seems to leave you alone, as long as you don't accidentally trigger them being aware of you. Excuse me. In that respect, this mission and the previous one are in some ways kind of boring. Because missions are a lot more interesting if the enemy is attacking and pressuring you, and not just leaving you alone indefinitely to build up your forces unmolested.
Unit ready.
So, yeah, and this makes 3 nod missions now, counting that Ion Storm mission, where as long as you don't attract the enemy's attention, they just don't attack you at all, and you can just build up with impunity. And I don't think that's the best design. So, you know, a little bit of a criticism there. Overall, I think the missions have been really good so far, but we've done a lot more nod missions just because story-wise, the nod's part of the story is very front-loaded, and GDI's part is very back-loaded, so it's just naturally going to be the case that the first half we're going to do a lot more nod missions, and then the second half is going to be a lot more GDI. So we've seen a lot more of nod. But I would have to say that so far, even though the sample size is pretty skewed, I do think the GDI missions have been stronger overall. What are you doing? No. No, 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 no. That was a very stupid thing you were doing. Get back here. Just because there was that one nod mission salvage operation where you have to recover the Tacitus from the train, and we kind of... Oh. Okay, there's a Titan attacking my harvesters. Let's destroy it with the artillery. Come on, get him. Okay, this guy's just not deploying. Okay, and we're losing that artillery. Okay, we lost an artillery because that guy refused to deploy. I'm a little upset about that. That was pretty irritating, the way that happened. I do feel like I got screwed by bad unit AI there. But whatever. We'll move on with our lives. There. Destroy this, please. But we had the one mission... Oh, okay. And this is a little random, but once you destroy all the sensor arrays, for some reason you get vision of the entire map. It's kind of odd. I don't know why that happens. It really doesn't make any sense narratively. It said something about... I missed the text, something about downloading something, but I don't know why you would become able to download something just because you destroyed a bunch of sensor arrays. Now that we did that, I'm going to make a scum save. Oh, my cat's automated food dispenser is giving her food now. Anyway, I keep getting interrupted in the middle of trying to make a point. We had that recover the Tacitus from the train mission, and we saw in real time how that mission has a lot of design problems. And now we've had 3 Nod missions, these 2 Umagon variants and the Ion Storm ambush, where as long as you don't provoke GDI into attacking you, they just completely leave you alone to build up a huge force to then just steamroll them with, which is kind of boring. Okay. Umagon has been detected and is boarding a train. So, we need to cut this train off.
Unit ready.
We do not have a lot of time to do this.
Unit lost.
Okay, go ahead and deploy. Ploy. Yep, get ployed.
Unit lost.
Alright, go. Destroy this train. And we did it.
Unit lost.
Alright, well done to us. Alright, so we destroyed the train, and then we moved in and we captured Umagan. So she's in our custody now. Just to finish my point, I don't mean to imply that the Nod campaign hasn't been good. It has been good. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. And most of the missions have been well-designed and fun. I just think that so far the proportion of missions that have questionable design in them has been higher in the Nod campaign than in the GDI one. But we've played so many more Nod missions that our sample size is kind of skewed. So we'll see what our overall impression is of the relative merits of the GDI and Nod campaigns after we've played all the missions for both sides. Anyway, that's enough rambling for me. You know, I got through both of those missions so fast, I'm going to see if I can do a 3-for-1 special and actually finish the next mission in the same video. Let's give it a try. Let's be ambitious.
Sickening specimen.
Strong nonetheless. Prisoner, I will not ask again. Where is the Tacitus? You have gained much from the technology of peace, mutant. Why betray your brotherhood?
Divination is a lie. It's killing us. Kane is using you.
Terminate the bitch.
Wait! She may know something.
What is she doing?
She's pinching her carotid artery against her spine. I've seen it before in the camps.
But she'll pass out.
She'll die. Intervene! Wait. The tracking device has been activated. She'll take us where we want to go.
Umagon has led us to the mutant headquarters here in the north. He will attack posing as a GDI force. The mutants will blame GDI, and we will gain their support.
We must first capture a small defense initiative outpost here, and use it to manufacture our attack units.
Good luck, GDI.
So, a few observations. First, I would say that that was the most incompetent capturing ever, except apparently us letting her go was semi-deliberate, since we were tracking her back to her hometown, leading us to the Forgotten Settlement. But apparently we didn't let Oksana in on that little plan, since she was kind of surprised by it. Cabal, tell us what we gotta do.
Control of the mutants is in our grasp. Their headquarters is located to the north of your drop-off position. The GDI units you will need to implicate in this deception occupy a small base to the southwest. Do not mar the Brotherhood's name any further. Allow the blame to fall squarely on Solomon's shoulders.
Cabal, I'm not kidding. I'm going to remember all of this lip and insubordination when the time comes. There will be retribution for this, I promise you.
Base under attack.
Okay, so we've got to capture this GDI base.
Training.
Finish capturing it, that is, because it's already partially captured. Sure, I'll repair the light towers, why not?
Unit ready.
Alright, let's take their construction yard. And then, having captured the GDI base, we'll use GDI's units to attack the Forgotten,
Building capture.
thereby putting the blame squarely on them.
Building.
Now there's kind of an adorable little Tiberium garden in here, contained within these walls and inside this gate. I don't know if GDI was doing Tiberium research here or what, or if this is part of some weird Tiberium containment plan. But regardless, let's get a medic.
Unit ready.
A nod medic, what a novel concept. But regardless, it's actually going to be to our advantage to leave this like this instead of selling off like the walls and the gate, which you might be tempted to do in order to encourage the Tiberium to spread. But actually, with 5 blossom trees inside this little walled-off garden, if we just leave it alone like this,
Construction complete.
those blossom trees are going to cause it to regenerate really fast. And this is going to serve as a superb, essentially endless source of Tiberium for us.
Building.
It should regenerate faster than we can even harvest it. Alright, medic, I'm going to put you on a special control group. You're control group 9. Now, this is the first mission where we fight the Forgotten proper. We fought some scattered forces of theirs in the first variant of the Capture Umagon mission. But here we actually have a whole Forgotten village, or town, that we're fighting against, with a lot of their forces. And we're going to see that the Forgotten are one of the biggest unimplemented aspects of Tiberian Sun, where originally they were intended to be an entire third faction, with their own unique units, buildings, and tech tree. But I guess Westwood ran out of time and money before they were able to finish making the Forgotten a complete third faction. And so, instead, the Forgotten that we'll see, which are just kind of a shadow or a shell of what they were supposed to be, just consist of a handful of unique infantry units and a mix of GDI and NOD units and structures, as well as some repurposed civilian vehicles that they have basically converted into combat weaponry. So it's a little odd. You can kind of see what a lost opportunity they were. That they're just a mix of GDI, NOD, and repurposed civilian tech instead of their own proper unique faction. But despite that, this is an interesting mission, and fighting them is going to be an interesting experience. We'll be surprised by some of the things that they attack us with. By the way, which NOD mission are we even on? I have completely lost track at this point. Is this 7? Or 8? Doing a little scouting here, obviously. Let's see. So the first 3 missions plus 1 submission, which doesn't increment the counter, were for the NOD Reunification War. And then mission 4 plus a submission were for recovering Temple Prime. And then I think mission 5 was salvage operation, recovering the Tacitus from the train. And then mission 6 were the 2 Umagon variants, and that would make this mission 7, right? I think this is 7. We're going to go with that. Oh, we got this grooving track playing. Which one is this again? Scout. This is a really good one, too. So many really good tracks in this soundtrack. Oh, my cat has just jumped onto my keyboard tray. As often happens while I'm LPing, we'll see how much that impedes my my ability to play the game. Alright, I'll start cranking out some Titans. Actually, maybe I should... I already have 3 refineries. That should be plenty for this mission. There we go. 10 Titans and 6 Wolverines to start. Oh, there is an automobile. I have a feeling this is probably a heavily armed automobile. Okay, not really. It just drove up to us and got destroyed, so I don't know what that thing was planning to do. You can see how fast the Tiberium in here is regrowing. That it's such a small amount of Tiberium, and yet even with 3 harvesters harvesting it, we still haven't exhausted it, and it's regrowing so fast. So yeah, leaving those walls and that gate there just massively accelerates the rate at which that regrows, and it's the correct play. Rather than selling off the walls, thinking that that'll spread the Tiberium. We can, however, just sell these little corner things here, which aren't serving any purpose. Except to reduce the space for the Tiberium to grow slightly. Alright. Give me vision. Oh, we can build helipads. That probably means we could build orcas, but it would just feel wrong to build orcas in a nod mission before we get to build them as GDI, so I'm gonna hold off on that.
Unit ready.
Oh, no, Jolene.
Unit ready.
So, I am actually playing Tiberian Sun on a different computer from what I've been recording my other LPs on, because it runs pretty stable for the most part on this computer. It crashed on us once. That's actually way the heck more stable than it is when I try to play it on my other computer. However, this computer doesn't seem to want to play nice with my wireless earbuds, so I'm having to use wired headphones. And the relevance of that is that my cat just tried to chew on my my wired headphone cord, which is not great. I don't want her doing that. And then she stuck her nose in my eye, which is actually completely adorable. Getting a close-up of a cat nose is one of the great pleasures in life. Anyway, now that I've let you have a glimpse of the wild and crazy world of Dr. J, let's actually start pressing forward. I think we have a pretty good force here. And I think Control-Alt is follow. I'll have my medic follow my infantry here. Actually, I want you to stay back at base and serve as a turret. I think with 1 Vulcan tower, M1, Tick-Tank at each entrance, that should be reasonable defenses while we venture abroad. Okay, good job following, buddy. Oh, no, he's still following. Man, if at the midpoint of the game I can get through 3 missions in 1 video, I'm gonna feel like I'm doing pretty good. Oh, I hear a Tiberium fiend. I don't see it, but I hear it. Aha! Okay, the Tiberium fiend was attacking the Forgotten. Which is odd, because ordinarily the Forgotten and Tiberium lifeforms get along with each other. Tiberium fiends are like weird giant boars that fire spines or something crazy like that. They're a new form of mutated Tiberium life that we encounter in Tiberian Sun. That was, I think, our first glimpse of them. They're pretty cool. I like all the different new Tiberium life. Okay, there's some more of them. Also, let's slow down to battle speed here. They're pretty cool. I like the Tiberium fiends. And there's also the Visceroids, but those aren't new, of course. We saw those in Tiberian Dawn. In the Firestorm expansion, we're going to see yet another new form of Tiberium life that I think is very cool. But we'll save that for when we run into that. I'm actually going to leave those laser fence posts alone. They appear to be containing some Tiberium. I'm going to leave them alone so they can draw power. We'll be more likely to be able to put the enemy into low power if we leave them there. I don't know why that particular mutant isn't hostile to us, but he's not. It's fine with me. If he's not going to attack me, I won't attack him. Oh, we've got more forces getting constructed. Getting attacked by more of these repurposed civilian vehicles. There's like an RV or caravan or camper or whatever you call it from whatever part of the world you hail from that is surprisingly durable and has a pretty powerful cannon. I don't know if we've encountered any of those yet. Kind of seems like we haven't. It is surprisingly tough. We're encountering a lot of automobiles and pickup trucks that don't seem particularly well armed or armored. Are you going to follow? No, you've given up? Maybe the guy he was following died. Oh dear. We don't have any anti-air. So those harpies are just going to attack us with impunity. However, if we can destroy their helipads so they can't reload. Okay, that's an obelisk. It's a little weird that our first time seeing an obelisk of light is, you know, in the hands of the mutants rather than Nod, but that's the way it is. Let's start bringing up reinforcements. We're going to lose a lot of guys to this stupid obelisk. Also, multiple mammoth tanks, and there's one of those campers I was talking about. Come on, get it. Get the obelisk. Guys. Okay, we got it. I don't think they rebuild it. If we can also get the mammoth tank and the camper, then... Okay. This mutant town is surprisingly well defended. I think that's a bus. An armored bus. Although it's a shame that the mutants weren't able to be fleshed out as a proper third faction, it is kind of interesting and funny fighting extremely well-armed and armored buses and RVs and stuff. Oh, there's another one. A school bus. So all that we have to do in this mission is destroy a certain number of mutant structures, I think. It's either a certain number of structures or a particular set of structures. I'm not sure which. But we don't need to wipe the map. We just need to destroy a certain number of them. Alright, I'm going to make a rally point right up here, so that I don't need to manually move my reinforcements forward. We're doing pretty well. I think we're on track to get in yet another mission in one video. Also, since I'm not sure exactly what's going to trigger us winning this mission, I think it's about time to make a save, which is why I was trying to figure out what mission we're on so I could do the proper number. Also, I misnumbered that GDI save. That should have been GDI 4, not GDI 5. No big deal. Alright, they're sending all the repurposed civilian vehicles at us. It's not going to save them. Okay, that one's not hostile to us. We're not using aircraft, we'll destroy the SAM sites anyway. I'll periodically save as I'm... Okay, this is pretty appropriate music for our slaughter of the poor mutants. Man, everybody hates the mutants. Like, GDI isn't as awful to them as Nod is, but GDI doesn't really care about the mutants either. Derogatorily referring to them as shiners. And pretty much just leaving them to suffer and die, more or less. So, it really sucks to be the Forgotten. Nobody has their back. And that's why they have that sort of standoffish attitude and don't seem to like anybody. It's because nobody likes them. I feel pretty sorry for the Forgotten.
Unit lost.
But as I was saying, I'll periodically make saves as I'm tearing apart their town,
Unit ready.
just to try to minimize the amount of time I have to repeat doing this when I'm ready to... Oh, looks like... Okay, Trados, the mutant leader, has just come out, said, "You've killed enough of my children, take me and be done with the violence." So the mutant leader gives himself up, and the mission is complete. So I timed that save really well. Dang, look at me go. We're pretty much in the mid-game missions now, and I managed to tear through 3 of them in one video. I still don't even understand why I won that first mission. Maybe my units just destroyed the train of their own volition off screen and I didn't even see it happen or something. Anyway, that's going to do it for now. I think, if I remember correctly, we are back to GDI for the next mission. So, hopefully you'll join me for that, and I'll see you then.